Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Ask the Trade Pros. It's your favorite show where a couple of trade guys ramble about some stuff and talk about trade things every now and then. We're here to answer your questions about your HVAC, your electrical, plumbing, and anything else in your home that you want to know about. So we're here to help you keep your home running smoothly. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Todd.
Today we've got a fun episode. It's inspired by a couple of conversations we've had recently with customers about their favorite room in the house, the bathroom, and their favorite seat, the toilet. Specifically, we're going to talk about weird toilets, strange toilets, weird layouts, what people have in their toilets, on their toilets now, around their toilets, anything about a toilet. This is a bowl show, and we're going to have a bowl doing it.
Let's think on this. So we have wall-hung toilets where you flush and it goes through the wall, then into your drainage system. Those require a lot of weight because you're sitting on it. So your walls have to be structurally sound if you have one of these toilets.
Let's make that clear for people. But the toilet we're used to seeing here is the one that sits on the ground. The base of the toilet is on the ground. On a wall toilet, there's nothing on the ground. The entire toilet is lifted off the ground and suspended off the beams of the wall. I heard from a customer once on one of these wall toilets, a larger folk, they went to go use the toilet, sat on the toilet, and pulled it off the wall while they were sitting on it, which is how I learned that you can actually get support trusses for wall toilets to help support larger individuals using them.
Yeah, that's something that when I see a wall-mounted toilet, I'm unsure if I want to use it or not.
You know, you get a toilet and a ride in one.
Correct. So we have wall toilets. We have bidet toilets, which is a toilet and a bidet in one, essentially. So you're going to flush and it's going to clean you at the same time. Not what we're used to today with most people install a bidet seat on their toilet, which makes it that. But there actually is a real bidet, has both water supply going to it and it flushes.
And for any of you that have been to Europe, you understand this is not the same as a pure bidet. So you can actually use this as a toilet, whereas you should not be using a pure bidet as a toilet.
So besides bidets, they also have custom or what they call designer toilets that are different shapes, sizes, whatever you have in mind, you could make it into a toilet.
Yeah, Todd's being serious here. I mean, there are toilets that are shaped like people. There's toilets that are shaped like Star Wars characters. There's toilets that are shaped like horns or gold jewelry. Toilets, you can get a toilet in any shape you want one. So Todd, I have a question for you. We've heard all these stories about like Saddam Hussein or other people that would have gold toilets. How do you clean a gold toilet?
That's a good question. I've never had the luxury of using a gold toilet, so I wouldn't know, and probably never in my life will I be able to enjoy the experience knowing that I can do a number 2 down something that's probably $100,000 or more. I would imagine that if you have that kind of money, right, that you probably don't know how to clean it because they're paying somebody to clean it. Do you
use
get
metal polish?
Yeah, exactly. Do you have your metal polish and make it nice and shiny? Or good question. I don't know.
You can't really scrub it because it's metal. It's not porcelain.
Yeah, maybe that's a good question. Maybe we'll reach out to some of these people that we've heard have gold toilets and ask these and see if we could get them to join the podcast and give us some information. Maybe we could have them as a guest speaker and tell us about their experience with the gold toilets. More so, we see nowadays, just like everything else in the world, right? Smart toilets. So the smart toilet has features like sensors, heated seats, bidet functions, integrated electronics, which can be more complex to install and to operate, really. They require electrical calibration sometimes. Just a lot of unique features that apparently the world needs nowadays.
The first time I saw a smart toilet, we were in Japan, and I was with some Japanese friends of mine, and we were in a house, and they had I think they were Toto brand, big Japanese brand that makes smart toilets, and they had remote controls. I never knew that a toilet could have remote controls. And to be fair, the Japanese had remote controls for everything. Their ceiling fan, everything in the house had remote controls. You go to a public restroom in Japan, and they have remote controls for the toilet. But what we found amusing, we were kids at the time, we found amusing that the same remote worked for any brand toilet that was the same. So we would just take it around, walking outside the doors of the people in the toilet and just start pushing the buttons.
Well, that would be a fun experience.
Yeah. Because they have bidets built in, so they do more than flush. They start shooting random streams of water at you.
I can tell you this, with all these smart toilets and advanced features, I went into a distributor for a training class and had to use the restroom. And honestly, I spent 5 minutes trying to figure out how to even flush the toilet, let alone then go to the sink and try to figure out how to turn it on to wash your hands.
Yeah, one of my favorites, because having lived in Asia for a little bit, is the Asian style toilet. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what an Asian style toilet is, we'll start at the beginning and then you'll understand. Originally, their idea of a toilet was a hole in the ground with a foot marker on one side and a foot marker on the other side. You just put your feet there and you squatted down and hoped your leg strength was good enough that you didn't fall in the hole and went to the bathroom. A current Asian style toilet looks essentially like a urinal laid flat on its back. It has a little splash that comes up, but the concept's still the same. You don't sit on anything. There's no resting. You can't scroll your social media because you're squatting over this thing for as long as your legs will hold you up.
Another unique type of toilet is, I guess, what they call a transparent toilet, which is popular in Japan and London. Now, Jordan...
The Japanese take their toilets serious.
Now, I guess Jordan's used these prior, but he could touch on that momentarily. But I guess what it is it's glass walls that become opaque when the toilet is in use. So I guess they offer a unique experience, but some people may find that a little disturbing, that possibly somebody's watching them when they're using the restroom.
It's just that the toilet room has a clear glass walls on it, so everyone can see you enter. And then once you use the toilet, they turn like a shower wall. They turn that where you can see images and light through there, but you can't see exactly what's going on inside the room. I don't know that this is the kind of toilet I want, but the Japanese love innovating in toilets. So they're the ones that brought us the bidet toilet. They're the ones, they have these modern Asian style toilets. They have remote control toilets. They have heated toilets. They have AI powered toilets. They take their bathrooms very seriously.
Well, we could all travel to Alaska or a ice bar or something and use what they call an ice toilet. You ever heard of that?
No, is this the opposite of the heated bidet seat?
Well, they say that once you're done, the toilet melts away without leaving a trace.
Just a mess, not a trace.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen in a cabin once before an old-fashioned style toilet where it's a pull chain. So our modern toilets, the bowl fills up with water, or you have a pressure adapter that pressurizes the water through there to wash everything down the toilet. But obviously before we created porcelain toilets and this design and floats and pulls, we didn't have it. So the way they used to do the toilet is you had a big bin of water at the roof of the bathroom, a pipe that went down, and then the toilet, and then you pulled a chain manually to empty the bin into the toilet.
I thought those chains were to call for help.
That's only if you fell off your wall toilet.
Or in a hospital, right?
Right.
So I guess, speaking of toilets, it's a personal preference, right? So you got to pick your throne.
Right. I mean, if you're going to be the king or queen on your throne, it should be your throne of choice, right? There's tall toilets, little toilets. I've even seen carpeted toilets. This is disgusting.
Slide toilets? Didn't somebody just tell us about a slide toilet?
Yeah, again, the Japanese and their love of toilets. They have a museum where you can walk up a stair and slide into a large fake toilet so you can get I don't know how they describe it, the sensation of what it's like to go down the toilet. Another interesting kind of toilet that we've recently seen from Europe is called an incinerator toilet. It doesn't use water. It burns your waste in a heated element situation, and then you pull out a tray, which is just ash when you're done using the toilet.
They say it smells really good, too, from what I hear.
The origins of this toilet are very similar to a composting toilet. So a composting toilet, which has become trendy now as people look to environmentally conscious things, was a toilet where you actually think of it kind of like an outhouse, but smaller, right? You would go use the toilet, but in where the waste of the toilet go, they would have something that dissolves the items in the toilet. These would be very popular, say, on a septic system or something where you want to fill it up with human waste. You could put bacteria, you could put earthworms, you can put anything that eats this kind of waste, and they will degrade this waste into a compost. Realistically, if you wanted to, you could take that compost then and spread it out in your garden or wherever you grow food so that you could make this a complete cycle.
So does that separate the liquid from the solids, or how does that work?
I don't know, but we have something to try out at your house now, Todd, right? We can install one of these in the backyard and see and test it. I think the water probably evaporates or soaks into the ground or whatever, and then the compost gets dissolved by the bacteria or the earthworms or whatever your nature of composting is.
Yeah, so I think somebody was mentioning one of these toilets, and I thought that it separated both the solid from the liquid, and something about the liquid is diverted to a separate treatment and used for irrigation systems.
That's a good idea. Ready to set up a science experiment in your yard, Todd?
No, I just walk right by the toilet and go to the backyard anyways. So I guess if you're trying to save water, the composting toilet would be the right choice. Minimal environmental impact. You're producing nutrient-rich compost for your non-edible plants, or maybe some people do like to eat their garden that they grow in that. I don't know. However, like with any toilet, proper maintenance and management of the toilets are essential to ensure the effectiveness and hygiene as well.
Yeah, we're skilled trade guys, and we're happy to go snake a line or auger a toilet, but I'm not sure how we'd fix a composting toilet that broke.
Me neither. So I don't know. My personal preference is a regular toilet that you just take care of your business and press the lever and flush it. I don't know that I need anything fancy.
You need a bidet.
Well, bidets are nice, and I won't tell you the reason why I like them. I don't know if that's proper for this podcast, but if you need help with your toilet, no matter how weird it may be,
unless it's a compost toilet, of course.
Yeah, unless it's a compost toilet, reach out to your local trade pro. We're here to help you, no matter what style toilet it is. We'll give you whatever information and see what we could do to help.
I hope you enjoyed this kind of odd and weird episode, and please don't flush it down the toilet. If you want to follow us, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app, and we release new episodes every other Tuesday.
And if you want us to cover a specific home-related topic, then leave us a voicemail or email us, and we'll talk about it on a future episode. Our information is in the show notes. Thank you, as always, to the team at Done Right Services for sponsoring this podcast.